2015, California was at the peak of its worst drought in history. The news was full of scary stories. Farmers tearing out their crops. They said the state was on the verge of a modern-day Dust Bowl. I was living in LA at the time, so we decided to take a road trip to see this catastrophe for ourselves. This is the heartland of California agriculture. It was supposed to be the epicenter of the drought. But the first thing we noticed when we got out here was that there were new plantings going in everywhere. Massive fields of pistachios and almonds spreading out as far as the eye could see. Farmers are planting thousands of acres of water-hungry new crops, all during the worst drought in history. To find out what was going on, we would have to go back to LA. The people who own these farms live in Beverly Hills. Billionaires Stuart and Linda Reznick are the world's biggest farmers of tree nuts. She's a child of Hollywood. He's a businessman with ties to the mob. Gimmicky mass marketing is a secret to their success. They single-handedly created a boom around pistachios.
Folks, evidently sales of pistachios have not skyrocketed in the last 30 seconds due to a lack of branding. Well, let's take care of that. Pistachio, pistachio. Wait for it. Pistachio.
Somehow, there was no water shortage for these billionaires. While everyone else was told to conserve, they were expanding during the drought. News stories made it all about the weather, as if the drought was natural and inevitable. But as we discovered, the real causes of California's water shortages are man-made. They're political. Farms use 80% of the state's water supply. This one giant corporate farm owned by the Reznicks uses more water than the entire population of LA. There's plenty of water, but it's been privatized by a small group of powerful farmers to grow snack foods in the middle of the desert. Our road trip took us deep into the dusty heart of California. The eco-hippie paradise where farming and oil production live side by side.
When anybody like you wants to run my life, I get upset.
Sir, nobody's running your life. If you'd
You're taking an opportunity
if you'd
and
like
she's
to
not
work in the
interrupting
oil
what you
industry,
can
that's your right. I have a right to be an environmentalist.
Yeah, you can be as stupid as you want, and you have that privilege.
We met farm workers in small towns where the tap water was toxic, or not running at all. Why does no one talk about it?
Why? Because they are afraid.
Money?
Money. Money.
From the state level right down to the smallest local district, water was being privatized.
Exactly.
The pumping here, the illegal pumping that you're saying here,
Yes.
is it directly affecting the wells?
Yes.
So why is that not being talked about?
Because money. American greed. Thank you.
And when we crossed paths with a bunch of farm lobbyists, we discovered something surprising about the pistachio boom.
And Iran could go ahead and start exporting to the United States.
It was all dependent on an embargo of imports from Iran.
We have Arabs that live around here. We have Arabs that take care of that own pistachio orchards. Well, how do you feel? You know, does a Muslim bother you?
The secret to world peace is pistachios.
Dennis Rodman does it because he's nuts. Wonderful pistachios. Get cracking.